Hi, it says I'm live. I am so sorry. I don't know why when I start an event, I can't go live from the event. So I create an event to let all of you guys know that I'm doing these lives, and the event doesn't let me go live, or I just don't understand how to do it, even though I've been like trying to watch tutorials about it, and no one tells you how to do it. It's very strange. So I'm just going up to the live button up there and starting it. So I'm just going to get started, and I'm sorry I had several people waiting on the other one. So I'm just, as people come back over and find this new one, hi, I will just get started. My name is Metz-Mändmets. I am a metaphysician and holistic healing coach. And today, hi Ginger, hi Donna, hi Anastakio. I hope I pronounced that correct. Lethe, I hope I pronounced that correctly. We're going to be talking today about natural cancer cures, right? What's really a natural cancer cure is what can build the immune system strong enough to eradicate the cancer. So I'm really excited to share some of these super herbs with you that you may know about or you may not know about. One thing, though, that is really important that I want to address is that, okay, herbs and nutrients, superfoods, will build your immune system, right? So they will correct the microbe that's causing the cancer, the microbe that is the cancer inside the cell, right? But what created the microbe, right? The energy, the stress, the thought patterns, or the toxins in the environment. Something in thoughts, environment, energy, energetics created the microbe. So even though we can approach it from a build the immune system, detoxify the body, oxygenate the body, and alkalinize the body, even though we're going to build ourselves to correct cancer and to correct any disease from that standpoint in the body, we want to acknowledge the underlying root cause. Okay, like I work with a lot of people, and I see this in my work that when people have a diagnosis, they have had massive stresses in their life. They've come from abuse or trauma in their childhood, and they haven't worked through that. Or they're in an unsavory relationship. Even sometimes when people think they're in a good relationship, they're like, they think they have a good spouse, but at some level, their presence and their opinion doesn't matter as much as the spouse's, or they're not getting the same consideration that they give. And so then they feel used on some level, or they just feel like they can't speak what they need to speak, or they're just not considered as much in the house. I've worked with people, especially if they have cancer in a sexual organ or creative organ. A lot of this has to do with the energy dynamics of relationship or past. And so updating the energy of all of that, if you had traumas in your past, forgive it, update it. Horrible things have happened to some of the people that I work with, right? But when they learn to truly forgive, truly let go, and when they learn that when you're a victim of something, when you're a victim of abuse in childhood, it doesn't make you weaker. It makes you stronger, because you get to overcome it. You get to forgive it, which is inspiring. When I see the people that I've worked with, that when I find out, when I work with people and we get to the bottom of some of this energetic stuff, because we have to clear the energetic stuff. Yes, we're going to put so much superfoods in your body, super herbs. We're going to build that immune system. We're going to detoxify the body. We're going to alkalinize the body. We're going to oxygenate the body. Yes, that works to heal disease, but we want to always be aware of what created the disease to begin with. And that's always going to be energetics at some level. So really coming from that place of when I see people heal from that and get through it, they become so inspiring. So know that if you've had traumas, or you've had abuse, or you've had whatever energetic dynamics that have caused you dis-ease in consciousness, and because the body is a servant to the mind, now we have dis-ease in the body. Just know that you are inspiring because you are overcoming that. And let that be an inspiration to you, okay? because that's so important. It doesn't, I mean, I can't say it doesn't do any good to come in here and superfood it up and super herb it up in your body. It does do good. It does build your immune system. But we don't want anything coming back. We don't want any cancer coming back after you've got rid of it because you haven't dealt with whatever pain is in there, right? Because pain in the mind creates pain in the body. Anyway, are you guys with me on that? Does that make sense? Awesome. I just want to make sure I'm like speaking into, I've everybody that I work with has some kind of dissonance in their energetics, whether it was abuse and trauma from childhood or whether it's chaos in relationships now, either with a spouse or with children. There's something that needs to be healed energetically in the lives of people that I see with a diagnosis, right? So where can we heal those pockets of dissonance in our life with our children, with our spouse? Just start forgiving everything. Just start offering unconditional love. Create new agreements with the people in your life that work for you. If you feel used in any way, if you feel like a tool in any way, you're responsible for that, and you can create a new agreement. You know what I mean? Is that landing? You guys get that? So wherever you're not fully nurtured in your most intimate relationships, and that could just be with family or children, or even where you're not fully nurturing yourself, just identify it and update that energy with the dynamic that works for you, where you can feel fully honored, fully respected in your home. And also, let's just make our home, let's just declare and affirm that our homes are for joy, love, and laughter. If you can just declare that over yourself and your family and your home, this home is for joy, love, and laughter, and create that energy in the space, your cells will be allowed to just relax and heal because they're not being bombarded with stress, right? Like whatever it is that comes up in life, it's not worth your cellular health. So when we start to understand this awareness that the energetics in our life are causing our cellular health or disease, then we know nothing is worth it. Yeah, just let it all roll off you like water off a duck's back. Deal with what you need to deal with. That doesn't mean sweep it under the rug. It means actually update it and deal with it, but let nothing take your health, right? Let nothing take the peace in your cells, okay? Let's get to some super herbs. Are you guys familiar with cat's claw? Has anyone started working with cat's claw yet? So cat's claw, let me show you. I have some right here. Cat's claw is a powerful anti-cancer herb, okay? Literally anti-cancer. So I put a link, well, in the event that I started that somehow I couldn't open the live on, so it's actually somewhere else, but in the description, but I'll copy and paste the description into this video description with links to some of this stuff. You can get cat's claw also in a capsule or powder. A lot of times when people are really detoxifying, they don't want to take any powders inside gelatin caplets because they just don't want their body to have to process the caplets, you know? So either way, take them in the caplets if you're okay with it. You can also open up those gelatin capsules and pour the powder out. But this is cat's claw. Highly anti-inflammatory, okay? Highly anti-parasitic, okay? It destroys the microbe that causes cancer, okay? It's very bitter, which bitter is a good, it's a good taste. In Ayurvedic medicine, we need all the taste, and it's the bitter helps the alchemy of all the nutrients assimilate into the body. So we need more bitters, and we don't get enough bitters in our diet. We get a lot of salties and sweets, but we don't get enough bitters. So it also prevents cartilage breakdown, which is really awesome. Joints, knees, elbows, shoulders, people dealing with pain. So that's another advantage that you're going to get from cat's claw. So a way to take it, I take it in tea. You know, I just put a little bit of hot water and mix it up. I might put a couple drops of stevia in it. You can add a little almond milk to it if you want to make more of like a cat's claw latte, you know? And these are the kinds of things that you can have fun with to replace coffee, because honestly, coffee is not doing you any good, you know? It's not really serving you in any real way. So you can, make yourself a cat's claw latte in the morning. I would do a couple teaspoons or a couple drops, not teaspoons, a couple drops of stevia, because cat's claw is pretty bitter. Another really great warm drink is holy basil. Holy basil is Tulsi, and this is a powerful anti-cancer herb as well. And you can also take this in powder or capsules or essential oil. The holy basil essential oil is extremely powerful, okay? It's going to detoxify your blood, okay? It's going to build your immune system so that your immune system can eradicate the microbe that causes cancer. I love the way this tastes. It's very earthy. It's I had this morning. So in the holy basil oil, you can mix it with coconut oil. You don't want to put it right on your skin by itself because it'll burn it. But if you have a tumor in an area, or there's a part of your body that you can get to by topically putting it on with the coconut oil, with 5, 6, 7 drops of the holy basil oil, you want to do that, because it will get into your bloodstream and will also help build your immune system, putting it on topically. You can also take the holy basil oil orally, or holy basil pills orally, or holy basil powder. Okay, we're covered with the holy basil. One of the things that cat's claw and holy basil do also is lower blood pressure, okay, and lower cholesterol. So it's like, people are taking blood pressure medication. And when you're on blood pressure medication, you're sort of always on it, right? And this is what is crazy. It's like a doctor gives you a blood pressure medication. Are we discussing what you could do with your diet to reduce blood pressure? I mean, that's really sort of an easy fix. I was talking to an 83-year-old friend of mine the other day. He was telling me that he's on arthritis medication, but that he has to he has to go to the doctor every 2 months for them to check his liver to make sure his liver is not being compromised by his arthritis medication. And I said, do you need to take your arthritis medication? And he said, yeah, because if I don't, my hands don't close. And he's telling me this while he's eating frosted wheat cereal with dairy milk, not organic. I said, did you know dairy causes inflammation, especially if it's not organic? Because you've got all these additional hormones. And why can't I think of the word right now? Oh my God, antibiotics, antibiotics in there. And dairy itself causes inflammation, as does sugar, as does wheat. As he's sitting there eating this bowl. And so it's like dietary changes can change these other little issues, that sometimes these other little issues, as we're not taking care of it, can lead and build to the immune system breaking down enough to allow cancer to proliferate, right? Because the immune system is working so hard because the body's out of whack, right? And these fixes are like dietary fixes that if you just know better, just have, celery and peanut butter for breakfast. He says his partner of 30 years, he says, well, she doesn't get up anymore to make eggs. I was like, you can make your own eggs. These like limitations that we put on ourselves. Well, like, I have to eat this for breakfast because she doesn't make eggs anymore. It's like, make your own eggs, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like why are we doing things that cause more issues? Like, let's just heal it at the root so that we're not causing other issues for ourselves. I'm sure the hospital or doctor's office doesn't mind billing his insurance every 2 months for them to go look at his liver. And now he's stressed out, like, am I damaging my liver? I don't know, but I don't think you need to take the medication. I think, rub holy basil oil and eucalyptus oil with coconut oil on your joints, take cat's claw. It powerfully influences joints, right? So really any ailment in the body, when we get to the root of it, we can correct it. Okay. So was there anything else? Oh, and something else I wanted to say about cat's claw is that it inhibits the formation of plaque and blood clots in your arteries. So I know we're talking about cancer here, but this is just other benefits that you're going to get when you start including cat's claw in your diet, as well as holy basil. Another really awesome herb is caraway oil. Okay, Caraway Essential Oil. Have you guys worked with Caraway Essential Oil at all? Let me know if Caraway Essential Oil is new to you, or if you've worked with it before. Ronald, I'm glad you're talking about EFT meridian tapping. That's really powerful. Forgiveness is a decision, not a feeling. Thank you, Rosa. You cannot control your feelings, but you choose to forgive over and over every time the feeling hurt arises. Yes, when the feeling arises. Yes, thank you, Rosa, for coming up with that, because forgiveness sometimes is not just a one-time thing, right? We have to keep forgiving, and it has to keep being before us, the importance of that. So thank you for that. And I understand, I've been there, like I know. And I would not be where I am today had I not really forgiven, just really forgiven, because there's no other way. You give your life away when you stay stuck to a person that hurts you, or to a situation. So thank you for sharing that. I wish I could really read. I'm going to go back. I did learn how I can read all of your comments after the live stream. I'm getting better about that because I really want to know what each and every one of you are saying and thinking. Okay, so Caraway Essential Oil. I have some here that my brother-in-law actually distilled. My father-in-law grew caraway. We lost my father-in-law a couple years ago to prostate cancer. And he had an entire warehouse full of caraway seeds. And the last time I saw him, we distilled this, and I told him, caraway seed will build your immune system and it will eradicate cancer. And I had sent him so many so many articles on so many different remedies. But because it didn't come in a building with a man in a white coat, it wasn't the information that he thought was useful to him. And we need to update that. We need to update that model. That's an old model, that we get our life or death information from a building with a person who studied maybe 30 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I don't know if they're continuing their education and their study. I mean, there's so many ways to go with this conversation. But first, I'll just say, maybe my husband wouldn't appreciate me saying this, but I mean, I saw what the chemotherapy did to a very strong, very proud man. It made him lose his will to live because he was in so much discomfort from the treatment. The treatment gave him the discomfort that he was having. And all the while, he's sitting on mounds and mounds of caraway. And had he just tried something else? So something that's really important to understand is that disease is not caused by genetics. Okay, for the critic that's watching this video, maybe that's not any of you that are here live, but for the critic that's watching the replay of it, that says that plants are ridiculous, there's nothing we can do to heal cancer. Cancer is a genetic mutation that we just have it. That is old information. All right, the science of epigenetics clearly shows us now how genes are signaled by thoughts. Genes are signaled by environment. Genes are signaled by nutrition. Okay, so it's not, if your mom and your grandma had breast cancer, no. You know what genetics is? Genetics is tribal thought patterns. We see in families the same fears, the same addictions, right? The same consciousness is repeated in families. And that's why the genes are signaled in the same ways in families. So you break out of that. I love Angelina Jolie so much. I wish we were friends. I see her as such an incredible ambassador and humanitarian and artist. It broke my heart when I saw that she had a double mastectomy preventatively, that she cut parts of her body out in prevention based on an idea that genetics are what give you cancer. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how does she not have people around her to give her the latest information? How does she not have that information? I just broke my heart. My heart broke for her, because when we cut parts of our body off and up, that is trauma to our body. And who know the scar tissue? I mean, I work with people where the scar tissue is causing so much damage now. And the surgery is really what's causing so much issue of what's happening right now, right? And that didn't have to happen, and that doesn't have to happen. So it's so amazing that all of you guys are understanding your power to heal yourself, because this is a new paradigm. We need to understand our power to heal ourselves. We're walking blind. We don't know how to use our bodies. You're a God technology. You are the God particle, right? So we have to learn how to use it. And that's our minds. That's our consciousness, because the body is a servant to the mind. Okay? So Caraway oil, this is excellent for cardiac health as well. Okay, so this is homemade. I'll put a link to one that you can find in the description. But it's an excellent anti-cancer, excellent immune booster, excellent cardiac support, excellent digestive and stomach support. So if there's any digestive and stomach issues happening, it also lifts the mood. It's a cure for depression and a cure for fatigue. Caraway oil, I love the smell. I put it in water and I just swallow it. I put it in coconut oil and rub it on my body. I put it in tea sometimes, just to like add a bit of super herb to the tea. So there's a lot of ways that you can take that and enjoy that. So in the last few minutes that we have together, I think a really powerful use of that time is for all of us to just take a deep breath. And I really want all of you to build a relationship with your higher self. Okay. That's building a relationship with God, with a part of you that is God. And that's not a religious God, because that's so misunderstood. I studied world religions. I have a PhD in divinity, and we're all saying the same thing. It's all about unconditional love. It's all about faith in something better, something bigger, because our world is a mirror that's reflecting back to us. So when we believe something, that's why it is done unto us as we believe. Okay, so in this stance, you are well. Okay, everybody together, just say, I am well. I am well. I am healthy. I am vibrant. I am a powerful self-healing machine. Okay, everybody, I am a powerful self-healing machine. I am learning my power. My power is growing every day. My cells are replicating perfectly every day. And now just turn your hands towards yourself, because our hands, we have energy vortexes at our hands. And our hands are powerful, and we know we are, because when we hold someone's hand, you know that feeling you get, especially if it's like the first time you've held their hand, or if someone graces your hand, or like if you're in a public place and someone you don't know were to come up and take your hand, it's kinetic, right? It's like, it's electric. You feel that, right? That's because we have energy in our hands. So turn that energy back onto your cells. Say, I love you, cells. You're replicating perfectly. We are in the light. I am a powerful self-healing machine. And so it is. And so it is, all you powerful self-healers out there. If you have questions for me, please email me at Blythe, BLYTHE, at BlytheRaw.com. Okay, I'm here for you guys to help you support your healing process. You guys are smart. You're smart. You're the ones that are saying, you know what, there's a better way to do this. Okay, and chemotherapy, radiation, and even surgery, maybe as early as 20 years down the road, is going to be archaic. If not 20, then shortly thereafter. We're going to look at those treatment practices the way we look at like slugs sucking our blood and like different bloodletting techniques that they did in the day, in the old days, right? We're going to look at that as being an incredibly archaic and misinformed approach, because we are a whole organism. Okay, let's heal the energy. Let's boost our immune system, detoxify our body, work on alkalinizing our body with a lot of fresh foods, work on oxygenating our body with a lot of deep breaths. And that's something else, stabilize liquid oxygen. Stabilize liquid oxygen. I'll put a link below this in the description for a good one. You got to be very careful with stabilized liquid oxygen, just a few drops a day, but it does help. It does help eradicate everything, because we've learned since the 1930s that where there's plenty of oxygen, no cancer is present. Okay, we already know that. So maybe find a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Maybe buy yourself an oxygen tank. It'll make you look a lot younger too, because everybody that I've seen that's ever been on oxygen actually looks better than they've ever looked in their life. So that's an idea for you and a resource for you as well. Okay, I love you guys. Email me. Okay, bye. Have a great week. Oh, one more thing. I won't be here this Thursday. I will be I will only be able to do this once a week moving forward. And so our next live stream is November the 1st. Okay, it's Thursday, November the 1st. And thereafter, into December, we'll do Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, I love you guys. Go out there and rock it. Cat's Claw, Holy Basil, Caraway, Stabilized Liquid Oxygen, and love and good thoughts and forgiveness. Okay, ciao for now.